My name is Anita Benefor, and I will be presenting on autism and the importance of a PEC program. I am also one of the placement students for a Safer Space. So, what are PECs? PECS, which stands for Picture Exchange Communication System, is a basic and simple picture exchange program which establishes communication and speech development for children. This begins with a spontaneous action to help decrease behaviors. So that would be fewer tantrums or meltdowns. How do we get the kids involved? We start with something to reinforce them. So if the child likes candy or if the child likes juice, you start it off with a reinforcement. And then from there, you go and you find out what their likes are, what foods they like, what activities they like to do, what tasks and chores, because we want it to be a interactive program. Followed by pictures and symbols are then chosen and placed in a communication binder, which should be accessible to the child either at home or at school, depending on where they're doing the PEC program at. So who are PECs for? Individuals who are nonverbal, individuals with communication problems, and also autistic or persuasive development disorder or any other socio-communicative disorders. So how does this relate to autistic youth? PECs give children the opportunity to communicate in a world in a very easy and basic way. It also bridges the gaps between autistic individuals and their caretakers, families, or healthcare professionals. So PECS has 6 stages. The first stage is physical exchange. The second, expanding spontaneity. The third, discrimination training. The fourth, sentence structure. The fifth, what do you want? And the sixth one, responsive and spontaneous commenting. So I'm going to go through all of them. So phase 1 is the physical exchange. The child will take a strong interest in the reinforcing item, which is chips, snacks, or juice, to grab their attention with 2 trainers. So one trainer will be the communicative partner who will sit next to the child, and then the second one will be the physical prompter who gives the direction and guidance so the child will learn how to communicate. This is done with multiple people or multiple trainers so that the child learns how to communicate with different people in different settings. So before this phase ends, the child should be able to reach for the symbol or the picture independently without prompting. Phase 2, expanding spontaneity. So this trainer now will move away from the child. So in the first stage, the trainer was sitting directly in front of the child. This one now, we're going to move away from the child so that the child makes the effort to come to the trainer and choose what it is that they might want from the PEC board. This is done in a way so that they can communicate their wants and needs, but with more effort. The goal is to teach the child or the youth how to communicate with a variety of people in different settings and for a variety of different items. This not only works on children's communication skills, but it also introduces them to new vocabulary as they have to vocalize their needs and wants more because they're actually coming to you. Phase 3, discrimination training. So using the right picture for the right need is what we're focusing on this stage. Teaching the child the differences between the pictures or the symbols of the items, which will totally be equally reinforcing. And also in this section, we introduce preferred activities versus non-preferred activities. So what do I mean by this? Let's just say on the task board, the client or the child has to choose between taking out the garbage or watching TV. Obviously, the preferred activity would be watching TV, but they still have to do something in the task board to get onto the next stage. So you give them a choice if they want to do the preferred activity first or the non-preferred. But now we're adding more choices in there, but we're not only giving them what they want, because in the real world, you need to be able to hear no or not be able to get your way every time. So this is a good way in introducing that to autistic children. And in this stage, we change the picture sizes. We might add colored pictures. We might have 3D PECs. You want to make it more interesting for the children so that you can get their attention and keep them interested. So in phase 4 is sentence structure. This one we're actually now encouraging and promoting the children to speak up and say what it is that they want. Whereas before, they might have been pointing at the symbol or the PEC. Obviously, this won't work if somebody is nonverbal. With nonverbal, you will have to work more on getting them to communicate depending on their level. But this is for children that are able to communicate verbally. Phase 5, what do you want? We are literally getting the children to describe verbally what they want using the PECS. So they're going to point at a picture, and whatever picture that they point at is what they are going to then do as their next step or their next task. This section is not forced. They're not forced to answer, but we are encouraging them to use their words. Phase 6 is now responsive and spontaneous commenting. So the child is encouraged to request things that they want off of the board or off of the binder, depending on how you set it up. This will ensure speech development and overall confidence in communication with others. So now in this section, the kids are going to be hopefully comfortable with, sharing their needs or their wants and not being shy or, just being quiet about things that they want. And obviously, if this is somebody that is nonverbal, if they are able to write how they feel, or if they have sign language or different ways of communicating, the point is at this stage, they should be way more advanced than the first stage. So what is the benefits of a PEC program and autistic children? It teaches them speech. It also acts as a basis for kids to become great learners. When children establish communication, their needs and wants, they are much more receptive to learning new things. This also gives them power and confidence to request the things that they want in life. Children appear happier, more calm, and less frustrated. This also sets a foundation towards a better life, as it is a great tool for communication amongst children and families, care providers, health professionals, and their peers. So if somebody can communicate, it'll be easier to navigate in life to get what it is that they want or just to express themselves. This also in the classroom works great for the teachers, as it gives the teachers more time to actually teach the students as they focus less on managing student behaviors. So it's almost like a communication breakdown. Another thing I really like about the PECS program for autistic children specifically is that it gives them a right to choose. Having a PECS program gives them the confidence and clarity to get through their day. Since autistic youth thrive on routines, this allows them to see what they have happening next, whether it's on a really big board or it's in the binder. All the activities that they are choosing are chosen either by them or their worker, and they know, okay, after I finish task 1, I am moving on to task 2. And it almost gives them a choice, because with autistic children, typically, they don't really have a lot of say in how their day goes. So this kind of gives them back some sort of power. So it also gives them the opportunity to take control and make choices in a world as they often are supported with every task and decision they make. So they have little to no say in their day-to-day life. And a quote that I really enjoyed from my readings was, when they are given the tools to communicate, their lives and the lives around them are much more enriched. And that is from the PECS USA YouTube page. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you.